Okay, category number 11 is the non-comic cover, pinups, illustrations, and gaming art. Let me check out my 5 votes here. Let me just say, I didn't vote for the Olivia. I understand how crazy that is, but I think Olivia everybody knows who Olivia is. Olivia is awesome. We don't need to promote it that much more for anybody to figure out who Olivia is. So my first vote went to this Norman Baer Cavalier Magazine story illustration. That's just intense. This guy is a millisecond away from losing his head. Clearly, many have gone before him, and not much else to say about it. That guy's standing pretty close to the action, this priest here. I don't think you need to stand that close to pray, but I'm no expert in that. But this piece is intense, all black and white, but then you have this spot of red right here, right where it should be. This piece is absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing out of place. This is, let's see if they have a year, 1961. In the published version, they made it all black and white, so you definitely lose some of that intensity with that spot red on there. But in 1961, they probably couldn't have got away with publishing it as the original is. The editor probably freaked out. What are you doing putting that red on there? You can't do that. We're going to have to make this black and white. Easily a pick for one of my favorites in this category. My second vote is for this Jaime Hernandez band illustration. Anything to do with punk rock, of course, is going to get my attention. But I really like this punk girl smoking her cigarette during punk band practice while her bandmates are cursing at each other in the background, and she wants to be a ballerina. This piece reminds me of the Henry story about him and the, now I'm blanking on the character's name. So it reminds me of the story that Henry tells about this homeless guy that he knew. I believe his name was Sky King. And Sky King has this quote where he says that he always wanted to be a dancer. And then there's a second half to it. You go find the story, you listen to it. But that's what this reminds me of, is this character saying, I always wanted to be a dancer, but I could never, and then finish that. It's a great story, and this illustration reminds me of that story. So that's primarily the reason why I picked this piece. So my third vote went to this Batman animated series coloring book piece by Ty Templeton. I think anything with Mr. Freeze and him, the pose here where you can see he's just momentarily defeated. He's trying to get this project done to save his wife, Batman, in the background. I love the imagery of it. This is a fantastic piece. Give me it reminds me, again, these pieces, why I'm voting for them is I look at that image and then, it sparks something, a memory. It reminds me of, I believe it's Simon M. Got superpowers, has a Superman piece similar with him holding his hand on that tiny city, whatever that tiny city is called. Same kind of feeling or emotion in both pieces. If you go find that piece, the Superman piece, and you see this piece, they're very similar. I love them both. They're both fantastic, and that's why I voted for this one. My fourth vote, here we go, repetition. We've seen this artist before, Zoe Thorogood. Personal piece, this character obviously very emotional. So this is described as a personal piece for 2024. I like it. It's got a very nervous breakdown album cover feel to it. Great piece. Definitely love the black and white version more than the color. And my final vote went towards this. You can read that for yourself. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but Sandra Chevrier. I've been a fan of hers for several years now. Just that her pieces aren't very, don't really fit my budget very well. You can see the size of this piece. It's enormous, absolutely awesome. I would love to get one of her pieces one day. You can see she's a quote-unquote fine artist or gallery artist with a very comic book, obviously, influence. And when I saw this piece posted, I was pretty surprised. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of her art on CAF because of the obvious comic book influence, but fanboys will be fanboys. Can't stray out of the lines, but she's awesome. Congrats to the collector that picked this up, Matt E. Obviously, he doesn't collect just comic art. He will stray far and wide, collecting all types of art. Congrats on getting this piece. She's an amazing artist. I would definitely like to get something from her one day, but probably won't be anytime soon. I don't think I have any rich uncles that are about to drop off. So that is my final vote for this category. The non-comic book cover pinups and illustrations, and we will check out the next category.